video as to why I chose a 335i over an E92 M3. So there's a couple of the main issues that are quite evident between both the cars. Obviously the price range, there's a big difference between buying a used 335i and a used M3. A decent M3 nowadays goes for 25 to 30,000 pounds, you know, decent low mileage, opposed to a decent second-hand 335i, you know, going for 12, 13, 15,000 in sort of good condition. So one of the main reasons as to why I did buy a 335i over an E92 M3 was price. You know, I'm young, I've got lots of money. It was the easier option buying this opposed to the M3. So that's probably one of the main reasons as to why I didn't go for the M3 and why I've gone for the 335i. A second reason why I chose the 335i over the M3: performance, opportunities, or potential. So obviously with the M3, that's a 4-litre naturally aspirated V8. This is a 3-litre straight 6 twin turbo. So this has got 2 turbos. The M3, sorry, it's naturally aspirated. So this from standard has got 306 horsepower, 295 pounds-foot of torque. The M3's got 414 and the same torque's 295 pounds-foot of torque. So obviously with the M3 you do get sort of a higher revving car, bigger engine, slightly more horsepower from standard, but this has got the exact same torque. Now this power and torque is from a standard engine, so just a standard twin turbo straight 6. Obviously with a tune, which you can do with the turbos, you're going to get a lot more performance out of a 335i opposed to an M3. You know, if you're looking at tuning an M3, you're going to need to supercharge it, you're going to need to do all sorts of wizardry, you're going to need to chuck a lot of money into an M3 to sort of get a lot more horsepower out of it. Obviously with this, I mean, I've mapped this stage 1 with MHD. This is currently running around about sort of the 370, 380 mark horsepower and around the 400 mark for torque. So with a stage 1 map, so nothing else, completely standard car, just a map, I've gained an extra 100 pounds-foot of torque and an extra 70, 80 horsepower, which is a lot from a map, nothing else. So the potential there for this car is a lot more than an M3 would be. Obviously there's some disadvantages to choosing the 335i over the M3. The M3 is a driver's car. You've got totally different sort of suspension setup on the M3 opposed to this. But at the end of the day, I'm not tracking this car. This is sort of my daily driver. I drive this to work and back, drive this at the weekends. I enjoy myself in it, so you know, I don't sort of go driving like a madman about it, but it handles more than what I need. I don't need sort of, you know, track ready car for the roads, you know. I mean, it would be nice, don't get me wrong, but that's not why I bought this car. I bought this car because it had potential, it was nice, and you know, I like the look of it as well, and it's cheaper, more potential. At the end of the day, so you know, I can get, you know, for stage 1 map, you know, an extra 100 pounds-foot of torque and extra 70, 80 horsepower from it. Now, one of the other reasons why I chose this, always down to costs with everything nowadays, insurance. To insure this, it's £1,200, and that is for a year, and that is with, I believe it's Churchill. So that's who I'm insured with at the moment, £1,200 and 2 years, no claims. So it's not bad at all. An M3, when I did the insurance, I think it was £2,500 to insure. So it's somewhat more expensive. So it's an extra cost to take into the equation as well with these cars. I mean, they look similar. Obviously, the M3's got different front and rear bumpers, side skirts. You know, the fenders are a bit wider. Slightly different interior. You've got some of the more hugging seats. But it's, if you compare them both, you know, in a straight line, this versus a an M3. So I've had a little play around with some friends M3s, and sort of, you know, some people I've met on the road, and this is faster in a straight line than a standard M3. Obviously, if we're talking sort of tracking it, if we're doing around corners, no doubt the M3 will outmaneuver me. But this is, you know, I like the straight line speed. I'm not about drifting this car. I'm not about sort of honing down sort of country lanes at sort of silly speeds, where the M3 obviously is going to handle a bit better. You know, this handles more than you require for a road car, and it's got a serious power as well over the M3. So that's, you know, the main sort of 3 or 4 reasons as to why I chose this. Cost, you know, it's a lot cheaper to insure. A lot cheaper to buy. It's got more performance capabilities. Granted, it doesn't look as good as the M3, I will admit that, but it's, you know, if you want to, you can whack an M3 rear bumper on it, front bumper, bonnet, you know, the works. If you wanted to, you can put the M3 exhaust system on it. It's all sort of interchangeable, so, you know, slight modifications. Obviously, running of this car, so that's quite a big thing, I suppose, people want to know. So obviously, miles to a tank of fuel, we're looking at 250, 230. That's driving sensibly. If I look now, oh, the wrong button. I am 17 miles per gallon, which is not great, but I mostly do sort of town driving. I rarely hit a motorway, or any sort of long journeys. You know, my work's sort of 2.5 miles away, so the engine's not even warm before I get to work. So that's one of the disadvantages, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, I didn't buy the car for fuel economy. I don't do massive miles, so it doesn't kill me in that sense. So to fill up a tank, it's about 65, 70 pounds from empty. That's like really empty. So normally it's about 50, 60 quid. So it's not too bad with the fuel. Obviously an M3, I'm presuming it's going to be a lot worse than that on fuel. I would think. So I haven't owned one yet, but I wouldn't know. But I can only imagine it'd be a lot worse than this. Tyres. Well, I bought this car. I've had this car for about a year now, just over a year. It had 225, 19. I don't know, what were they? I can't remember. It was 255, 35, 19 alloys, tyres on it. Sorry, and they were Bridgestone run flats, and they lasted about a month. They were on their way out when I bought the car. So what I did, I went and purchased a Michelin Pilot Super Sport, slightly wider, so 265, 35, 19, and they've lasted me an entire year. So I've still got them on the rear of my car. They do wear on the inside, as all BMW sort of cars will do, sort of in the inner edge. They're starting just to get to the illegal mark, but they've lasted a year, about 10,000 miles of driving in a year. And that is hard driving, that is having fun coming out of junctions and all sorts of launches and whatnot. So, and those were £500, so £250 a pop. So they weren't sort of cheap tyres, but I think it shows if you spend the money on quality parts and bits and bobs for the car, they will last long. I mean, you know, in the Corsa, I went through tyres for every 6 months or so when I owned that. So this has sort of been a bit better on the tyre side of things. Obviously with the M3, so the actual 265, 35, 19s are the same tyres you're going to get on the E92 M3 and sort of, or the brand new sort of F80, if that's it, F80 M3s. So the brand new ones with the 4-litre twin turbo engine, or the 3-litre engine, should I say? Yeah, so I've upgraded sort of the tyres, and they've lasted a long time, and I've seen a slight performance increase in the sense that it grips better. When I had it mapped, or when I mapped it myself, should I say, it spun up all over the place. Obviously, this being the coupe is slightly lighter, sort of 1,620 kilograms. We're being anal about it. Obviously, not with me in it. I'm about 100 kilograms. I'm a fat bastard. But so it can be very twitchy, and still now it's twitchy because the power it's got. But even before, it was sort of, you know, unpleasantly twitchy when I accelerate, or even when I turn sort of the traction half on or fully off. It's, you know, not nice, but it was fun. It's a fun transition from a front wheel drive car, of course, with 200 brake and a fully decatted, you know, stripped out, to, you know, a quite, you know, more luxurious car with double the horsepower, and it's rear wheel drive, which is something I was a bit worried about if I'm honest. But you know, a year on the line, I've not crashed, I've not hit anything, touch wood. You know, I've been safe, I've enjoyed myself, and I've got to grips with how rear-wheel drive works. And I think it's a lot more fun than front-wheel drive. Performance capabilities are there. It's, you know, it is great fun. I think in my next car, it is either going to be rear-wheel drive car, or I'm looking perhaps four-wheel drive. But I said that when I sold the Corsa, and I wasn't sure what I was going to get, but I ended up buying this. So it's, you know, I don't know, but it's, you know, it's a tough choice: rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive. But I think front-wheel drive, sort of, my days driving front-wheel drive cars are gone. I'm definitely going to stick with sort of either rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, because they're both amazing. So, as I said, the transition was difficult. You know, I was very anxious and scared. You know, sound a bit of a wet wipe, but you know, going from a front-wheel drive car to a powerful rear-wheel drive car is a big difference. But you know, anyone that's thinking about doing it, don't worry. You know, I presume that rear-wheel drive cars want to kill you every corner all the time. That is not the case. I mean, I can drive this hard around a corner and it won't slip, won't go anywhere. You turn the traction off, it's a different story. Even the wet, it's not too bad though. I will admit, sort of even driving at slow speeds, going around sort of roundabouts, it has fully kicked out on me, sort of Chem block style, and I wasn't expecting it at all. So I've managed to handle that back in, but it's, you know, it's nothing you should be worried about. Obviously, it's a big transition if you've never driven rear-wheel drive before, but it's an easy one. It's, I wouldn't, you know, people shouldn't be scared of it. You know, it's great fun, and it's a proper driver's car, rear-wheel drive car. That's what they all started off being, I think. But no, it's really good fun, and you know, it's a laugh. It really is a laugh. You can drift, you can do your power slides, or you can just drive normally, as I've been. So it's the best of all worlds. So another little thing I hit upon are the alloys on the car, or just say the things that have gone wrong with my car. So like I said, I've owned it a year. I have had cracked alloys. So the alloys on the rear of this are 9.5J, so quite large or quite wide alloys. Unfortunately, made by BMW with crappy sort of Chinese alloy or metal, and they have a massive tendency to crack, break, buckle, all sorts. Now that is mostly down to the run flats that they put on the tyres, because obviously it doesn't come with a spare tyre or an inflation kit. You've just got your 2 rear tyres and 2 rear wheels, and that's it. So a big reason as to why they do buckle and crack is because of the tyres. So the first thing I did after a month or so, I got rid of those, but I still unfortunately got cracked alloys. So a friend of mine has got an N54 335i with the exact same alloys. I bought a replacement alloy off him, and it's all good. So I got it repaired once, and that was about £160, and then it cracked again, and I thought, stuff it, I bought a new alloy off my mate, and it's been good, touch wood, from now. I haven't honestly had any other faults with it. It's, you know, for the age of the car, it's 9 years old, it's not a new car, it's done sort of quite a few miles, it's on 80,000 literally. As we've been driving, it's tipped over to 80,000, so it's done a lot of miles. But you know, it's been looked after. One previous owner, an old elderly gentleman, was the previous owner to this, so I presume it's probably not been driven past 4,000 or 5,000 revs from when he owned it from new. Like I said, you know, I can't fault it. You know, for what it is, German engineering is the way forward. You know, it really is so well built. It's got sort of mod cons that, you know, new cars don't have seat belts that give the seat belt to you when you get in the car. You know, that the side mirrors dip down when you put it into reverse, so you don't hit the curb. Lots of little subtle touches that you think, oh, that's really clever, but you know, you don't tend to find those on new cars. Or if you do, it's, you know, you're brand new, really expensive cars, you know, which unfortunately I'm not in the market for. But like I said, it really has stood the test of time. It really has held up against other cars. I mean, a friend of mine's got a brand new 240i. That's standard 330 brake. I play with him, and they sort of kept up with that, and that's sort of an 8-speed automatic that I managed to, you know, race him with, and sort of, you know, kept with him. So that's a brand new 35 grand car versus a 9-year-old car with 80,000 miles on the clock. It's also a manual, and it kept with him. So, like I said, coming back to the power and performance versus the M3, it really does show sort of what this car can do. I mean, no doubt sort of an M3 is going to put up a really good fight, but it's, you know, it lacks, you know, with the torque, because torque's important for the acceleration. Obviously it's got the horsepower there, you know, an M3's got some more horsepower than me, but if I were to put some downpipes on, which are in the pipeline for the future, I think putting some pipes in the car, downpipes that is definitely a must. I think a friend of mine's got it on his car and they sound amazing, so it's definitely something I'm going to plan to do. But you know, if I do pipes, intercooler, that's stage 2, stage 3, and I'm looking at 430, 450 horsepower, and that's with me spending, you know, less than £500, and I've got more horsepower than an M3, more torque than an M3, and that's, you know, when you've got, you know, a lot of power and you're racing the likes of the brand new M3s and M4s, and you're sticking with them. That's what I love about this car. You know, it's got so much potential. It's, you know, silly not to buy one. Obviously, if you're in the market for one, there's a couple of things you've got to look out for. So the wastegates and the turbos tend to chatter a bit. I've got a little bit of rattle on it, but it's not too bad at the moment. I'll get that sort of sorted sort of for the next 6 months, under the warranty I've got with this. And the alloys are something that obviously you can look out for. They crack, so make sure we do look for one. They're not cracked. What else to look for? I mean, the paintwork on this, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat or anything, you'll see the paintwork's immaculate. I love to wash my car, always keep it clean, and for 9 years old, you know, it's better paintwork than my sister's sort of 2-year-old Corsa that's, you know, got swirl marks galore. So the main things you look out for, obviously, or the water pump as well. Sorry, the water pump on these cars can go. So it's all the ancillary items attached to the engine. So your turbos, the water pump, high pressure fuel pump, those things can go. The engine itself's rock solid. So that's the N54 engine, and I think it's fully forged, or it's got forged piston and block. So you don't need to worry about the piston coming out the hood or anything like that. So this car will take it. But obviously it's all the bits attached to it, you know, time will tell. Like I said, this is 9 years old, 80,000 miles on the clock, and you know, engine's going strong. The turbos are a little bit rattly, but it's nothing that, you know, bothers me too much. You know, I know there's a fault. It's, you know, doesn't affect performance. It's sort of just a little annoying noise, to say. Obviously the alloys, you know, that annoyed me a little bit, but I've got them replaced. So like I said, those are the main things to look for. Obviously the things that I've experienced, the cracked alloys and sort of slightly rattly turbos, those are the faults that I've encountered with this car. I dare say, owning it for another year or so, more bits will pop up, but obviously, you know, it's expected for the age of the car, and obviously the performance it's running. Obviously you need to get new pads and discs soon. I think I've got the rear ones changed my MOT, which it passed about a month and a half ago. Obviously little bits and pieces you'll need to get changed on it as time goes by. Probably look at sort of upgrading to some drilled discs or something along those lines, just to, you know, give it a nice look. Slightly better performance. Not that I really need drill discs. I think, you know, it's just a want, not a need. You know, I like the look of them. It looks cool, and you know, it does warrant them now. It's got sort of the power it does, or you know, it will be having more power when I sort of start doing a bit more to it. I mean, opposed to, you know, what I'm looking at doing to the car, modification wise, as stated before, downpipes are a very likely occurrence. They are going to come at some point. I think a spoiler, a carbon high kick spoiler, is definitely on the shopping list. I think a friend of mine who followed me on Instagram, or there's another video of mine on his 335D, and it's running for 370 horsepower and 560 pounds-foot of torque. That is fast. He's got a high kick spoiler in it, and that looks amazing, so I think I'm going to get one of those. Like I said, intercooler, just to keep the temperatures down when it's summer. That's definitely a possibility. Like I said, those are my plans. They're not imminent. I've got sort of other things in the books, you know, of life and sort of what's going on. So, you know, buying bits for my car is not the top of my priority, but they will happen eventually. You know, I want to get this a bit more powerful, you know, have it for a year or two. Well, should I say, I've already had it for a year, for like 2 or 3 years, and look to sell it on, to get something else. But obviously that's to be confirmed for quite a while before I'll be looking to buy anything else, but that's sort of, you know, my plans for the car. Obviously, you may have seen the S3. I've also got access to an S3 now. So my mother has recently bought an S3. I'm insured in it, so I can drive it when I want. I've got some great videos lined up. Made some good videos already. I'm sure you've probably seen some of them. The launch control on it's crazy with the automatic gearbox. It's absolutely fantastic. It's got 310 brake horsepower. So it's the new facelift 2017 version. It is really good fun. It just grips around corners. That's why, you know, rear-wheel drive and forward drive is definitely the way forward for me. But obviously, yet to confirm which one I want to live with, you know, perhaps another couple of years after this. But so I've got some content coming from that. Like I said, I've got a couple friends. One of them's got an N54 335i Stage 2. He's got downpipes and map. He's the one I bought the alloy off, so we're going to get some videos of that. I've got a friend who's got a brand new, well not brand new, sort of 2 or 3 year old E92 M3. And that's got a full sort of Scorpion exhaust on it and bits and bobs, so that sounds crazy. The 240i, friend of mine, we'll get some videos of that. And we've also got another S3 on the way as well. And a Golf GTI, a brand new Mark 7 Golf GTI. So we've got a couple of cars that are going to be featuring on the channel soon. Obviously, a lot of power, a lot of performance. I need video ideas. I mean, I've got the basics covered, the launch control, sort of exhaust. People like to see that. Obviously, I don't know, do you guys want to know how much it costs to fill up the tank of the S3? Do you want to know sort of how much the cars cost? I mean, you need to let me know what sort of videos you want to see, and I can cater for you. I can do what you want within reason, obviously. So I'm not breaking any speed limits, of course. But like I said, I'm open to suggestions. You know, I've got access to these cars. I can make videos from them, and you know, I'm looking to grow the YouTube channel, get it nice and big. So I enjoy videos. I'm making them. I work with cameras for a living. I sell them, should I say, for a large camera company. That is my job, so selling all sorts of cameras. So if you're interested in buying any cameras, let me know, and I can sort of sweat a little package for you, get you a slight discount. But like I said, let me know. Always subscribe to the channel, you know, like the videos, share them when you can. Obviously, give me some ideas of what you want to see, and I'll do my best to sort of get those videos made up, because I know a lot of you big fans of the Corsa VXR, and you know, VXR owners. Unfortunately, that is gone now. We are looking at the 335i, the S3, and as I mentioned, the other BMWs and Volkswagens. But like I said, you know, if anyone with a VXR wishes to make a video or contribute to the channel, let me know. We can get some videos made. But like I said, give me ideas. You know, thanks for watching. Subscribe and share, and sort of, you know, let me know what you want to see, and I'll get it done.